Welcome to another episode on our channel. I'm starting to show you our steampunk collection. These are 6 figures in all. We'll see 2 of them today that were completely customized, kit bash, whatever you want to call it. So this is Angelica Teach, Pirates of the Caribbean, portrayed by Penelope Cruz, and then Brad Pitt. I called him William here because I had a couple of these heads and I wanted to have twins in this set. So William Bradley Pitt is Brad Pitt's real name. So I called one William and I called the other one Brad. This comes on the heels of some props we showed you for our steampunk collection, a Rhinoceros Beetle that was basically like a 3D puzzle with instructions. And it was so cool looking. I mean, it's totally steampunk. I mean, it's got pistons. It flaps its wings. It's mechanized, so it flaps its wings. The light comes on, and the pistons go up and down. And it's about this high, and you saw that in the last episode. It takes a few hours to put it together, but it's a fun, relaxing activity if you want some distraction and have fun with putting something together. Those 3D-like puzzles that are items that you really like looking at are really fun to do. This is from the Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, obviously that would have been a pirate's outfit, but it really has a Victorian look, which is the steampunk era, the 1800s. She's got the long jacket. So Penelope Cruz has the long jacket. She has a long sleeve shirt that hangs outside of the jacket. She's got a corset. She's got upper part of the shirt. She's got pants. She had pirate boots, but I cut them down. I put straps on the side because the boots I had on William Pitt here have straps, so I wanted to have straps on her. Put gaiters on both these figures. And then she's got a gun here. The holster is actually the top part of a boot that was cut off with straps on it. And on top of the holster, I hot glued a compass just to make it look avant-garde, something you wouldn't expect to see, just different. And around her neck is the top part of a boot as well, because oftentimes in the Victorian era, they had jewelry around their neck or neck pieces as well. She has a hat and goggles, and I think that completes her look. Now, the male character here, William Pitt, he's got, this is actually was a Japanese map case. I put a fastener on it to cover the Japanese symbol. He's got, actually, she has it too, maybe harder to see until we get close-ups, but has the thing that was used for the saber for this character. He has this around his chest. And then I put, instead of a saber in there, I put a telescope. 1800s, I thought that would be a cool touch. Same type of weapon, but no compass on it. And just a piece of leather to represent the holster. He's got a top hat. She has more of a cowboy hat, but I thought they looked cool with the goggles on them. They have different goggles. I can't really tell you what this pair of goggles went to. I tend to buy things in lots, and I don't know where this came from originally, but this one was originally a World War I French pair of goggles. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for these 2 characters. We have 6 in all, and I have to say I could have kept going with making more steampunk characters because I love this genre, but had to stop eventually, and 6 was a nice number to stop at. So we'll pause now, and then from the bottom of the stand all the way up to the top of the head, we'll get some close-ups so you can see what they look like. We'll be right back. So here is the bottom of the stand. Let me turn it just a bit so you can see the boots a bit more clearly. The straps on the side, the gaiters, different colored boots, and the gaiters are different colors as well, but give it a nice contrast. As we go up, they both have dark pants on. You can see the jacket on Angelica, or the coat, a long sleeve shirt. You can see the bracers or lower arm guards on the Pitt character. You can see the guns. And on one, you can clearly see a compass on her holster, which is just a really small holster, top of a boot, basically, that could slip the gun through. Her corset, top of her shirt, her necklace, her neckband. On Brad Pitt, you can see the telescope attached to that basically what was on Angelica that held her saber across his chest. He's got a map case going in the other direction. And of course, that neck piece on Penelope and her necklace, you've got two different types of hats, two different types of goggles. So what I really tried to do with these figures is I tried not to replicate the look identically. So there are some subtle differences. There are some similarities, but subtle differences. She has a vest, but he has a vest that's buttoned up. He has a necktie, white shirt, no jacket. She, of course, has the jacket or coat, I should say. But again, similarities, but some differences. So we'll pause now and get some side-to-side shots. So I think I might go a bit around. Let's start this side so you can see the pleats in her coat. See a little of that. That's kind of cool. You can see the buckle in terms of this thing across his chest. But hopefully what you can see are maybe more subtle details, especially as it relates to the guns. They're in the same direction, very short holsters to hold them in place. Of course, William Pitt has the telescope there. She has the compass here that you can see coming back, which is open. Yeah. So I think they complement each other very nicely. So I'm just going to do a slight pivot here so you can see the heads. And they're both very nice quality heads. Her nose is a little red in the lighting, but I think that's just a factor of the lighting. They're very nicely done. Of course, the Penelope Cruz one is a Hot Toys one. The other one, though, is unbranded, but both very nicely done. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about steampunk. Apparently, it was a term that was coined in the 1980s by K.W. Jeter, who was a science fiction horror author. And it's referring to a alternate kind of lifestyle or genre from the 1800s or 19th century, 1800s Victorian era that combined that time period with technology. Primarily, technology would be steam driven in terms of innovations. So thus the word steampunk came into being. It reflected the sci-fi writers' view of technology and in an older time frame. H.G. Wells and other authors kind of mimicked that style. Cyberpunk, on the other hand, talked about a futuristic era, a dystopian era, where injustices prevailed, social inequities large human suffering. So they had some things in common, steampunk and cyberpunk, but the time frame is different. Cyberpunk also refers to technology as well, but again, the time frames are different. One looks back in time to the 1800s, the 19th century, and one is futuristic, kind of a post-apocalyptic, perhaps, era. Again, injustices being the theme. And it's always crossed my mind that there are some similarities to goth as well, because sometimes you'll see black in terms of the clothing that is worn with steampunk and so forth. But goth is more of just a dark, romantic, perhaps supernatural kind of genre in and of itself, and it's totally black. Steampunk has black, dark browns. Brown is a common color in conjunction with black as well. So there are some similarities among all three genres, but some differences as well. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. But to me, the most important thing was to create uniqueness with these steampunk characters. Everything's going to be slightly different in some respects. Some similarities are going to be consistent across all 6 characters, but some subtle differences to make them all unique in some way. So there you go. We'll be right back. So here are our first 2 of 6 steampunk characters, 1/6 scale, customized kit bash characters. Penelope Cruz and William Pitt. And as I said earlier, William Bradley Pitt is the official name of Brad Pitt. So I wanted twins in the collection, so I called one William. The other one will be Brad, of course. So I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget about the contest at the end of this month. We still have prizes to give away. So yeah, just put entry in the comment field and tell us a little bit about how, in another comment section, about how you became involved with the 1/6 scale community, because really the gift giving process is our way of saying thank you to the 1/6 scale community. So tell us a little bit about your journey. That would be nice. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, like I said, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.